Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to teach you how to fold a Stingray I designed. This one looks really simple, but it actually has some unusual folds and a lot of it's done without references, so it's not quite as easy as it looks. It's nothing crazy, but it might take a couple tries to get it just right. But it's pretty quick to fold, so it's not a big deal to give it multiple tries until you get one that you like. And since there's a lot of folds that don't have references, every time you fold it, it will end up looking different, which I think makes it a lot of fun. Now I use a 6-inch sheet of kami to fold the one in the video, and it looks pretty good. But this one is really ideal to be wet folded from thicker paper. It still looks great if you don't wet fold it, but if you know how, I'd recommend giving it a shot. But let's start folding. We're going to start with the colored side down. We're going to focus on this corner on the bottom. We're going to make a couple reference folds. They're only going to extend about this much, so we're not creasing all the way across the paper. We'll start with one that's just right on the center. Just line these corners up over here, then move down to the bottom and just make a small crease just about this much. Then unfold. Next, bring the edge on the bottom right into that center crease. Each one of these, make sure they extend all the way out to this bottom corner. And then crease it about the same much as before, just stopping about right here. Then bring that bottom right edge into that new crease we just made. Now repeat all of that on the left side. Fold that into the center crease. Then fold that edge into the new crease. Now we have all these reference creases here. I'm going to turn the paper over just so you can see them a little better. It's hard to see them from the white side. Now flip that back over to the white side, and we're going to take this edge on the bottom right and fold it over to the crease that's furthest to the left. This time we're going to extend the crease a bit further, but it's still not going to go all the way to the edge. So just make sure it lines up with that crease and starts right from that very bottom corner. And then start to extend the crease up, but we're going to stop before we hit the edge. There's no reference for this, but about right here is good. Show you from the other side so you can actually see. So stop your crease about right there. Turn it back over. And when you have your crease about right there, we're going to fold this flap back over. The paper is not going to lie flat as we do this, but we'll fold the edge back over, and then we're starting this new crease right from where we ended the last crease. So just pinch it down up at the top, and then where we want to flatten this is going to make it so that this edge right here is perpendicular to this crease. So just kind of roll the paper around until that edge is perpendicular with that. It doesn't have to be exact, but just get close. And then we'll crease it down. It still won't lie flat up in this top right corner, but it'll lie flat down here. And then we'll unfold all of that. We're going to repeat that on the left side. So take this bottom left edge and fold it over to the rightmost crease that starts from this bottom corner. And then try to fold this up the same amount that you did on the other side. Typically you have to flip the paper over to try to match it up. So just look at that and Pinch it down until it looks like it stops in the same spot. That looks pretty close. And then do the same thing as before, fold that edge back over. Then roll it around until that bottom edge is perpendicular with that crease. Next, we're going to take this edge and fold it over to this edge. Next, we're going to make an unusual swivel fold. We're going to be folding this edge up, and the crease is going to start from where this crease meets this edge. It's hard to explain exactly, but I'll just show you. We'll start to fold that edge up. And we're going to keep this crease in place. And then we just roll the paper around. There's no exact reference for this. But the angle you want is about like this. You just crease it down. It's a difficult one to do. Just kind of go for it and slide the papers around until you have it at an angle that you think looks good. Then the second time you try folding this one, you can adjust these creases and you'll understand it a little better, but just get it so it looks as close as you can to this, and then you can play around with the proportions on your next fold. Next, we need to tuck part of this flap behind. So to do that, we'll just open the flap up and don't press it down firmly anywhere. But just bring this edge into this crease that's closest to it. And then we'll crease that down. And then fold it back up along that crease. Now we're going to repeat all of that on the right side. So we already have these creases in place, so just fold it over and then fold it back. Then fold this edge over to this edge. And then make that swivel fold. Just try to make it match what you did on the other side. So about like that. And we'll tuck this flap behind as well. So swing this over, fold it into that crease, and fold it back over. Next, if we look up top, we just need to swing this point down. There's no exact reference for this. I do it just a little bit above where these creases meet up. If you were to imagine a crease extending between these two intersections, just fold it a little bit above that. And you just try to keep this point in the center. Then turn it over. And our Stingray is looking pretty good. Next, we just look at the tail, and we need to mount and fold this whole thing in half, just the tail. And if you look at an actual Stingray, their tail is pretty straight, but I like to give this some curve. You could just do one long curve. And that would look still a bit like an actual Stingray, but I actually like to give it some more curves. I think it looks really cool. An actual Stingray's tail doesn't really do this, but I just like the way it looks. We need to give a little bit of a shape to the fins. But we'll just make some really light curves. So just press really gently. And just do a little bit of curves here. Just go real slowly. You don't want to make any actual firm creases here. Just make it about like that. With a little bit of shape. Gives it a little bit of shape, makes it look a little more organic and lifelike. And the same thing on the other side. And then that gives us our stingray. You can make any final touches you think will make it look good. Now hopefully you ended up just getting it looking really nice on your first try, but more than likely you didn't get it perfect on the first try. It's a bit of a strange one to fold, but just keep folding it, play around with the proportions and get one that you like. And then tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see what you're able to create. And as always, make sure you leave a comment and smash the like button. I do post new origami videos every single week, so make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.